Good evening and welcome to the Richmond Advisory Plan Commission meeting for February 26, 2025. It says 2024 on my sheet here, but I think it's 2025.
No,
I think so.
that's just the minute. It's just the minutes, right?
No, the agenda actually says 24.
Good deal.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Pardon me.
Right, all right. Monica, would you please call the roll?
Michael Devine,
Here.
Len Clark,
Here.
Dakota Collins,
Here.
excuse me, Gary Turner,
Here.
Ken Poust,
Here.
Jim Price.
Here.
We have minutes from our last meeting, which was hard for me to believe and remember. It was all the way back in November. It was the night we rezoned the park so that the apartments could be built up off of Chester Boulevard. They were in your packet.
I think we need to elect officers first.
Oh, we do? Okay. You're right. Except it's not. Yep, we do. Okay. Floor is now open for nominations for president.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we re-elect Bruce Whistles, President of the Plan Commission.
Other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Vice President.
Chairman, I move we elect Gary Turner as Vice President, Wayne County, or not Wayne County, excuse me, Richmond City Plan Commission.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Secretary.
The commission doesn't have a secretary.
Who's going to sign where it says secretary?
That's usually me.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Dustin Purvis is the Secretary. Okay.
Our only business this evening is order number 1, 2025. I can't believe it, but I've got my second copy of it in front of me. This was approved this past Tuesday by the Redevelopment Commission.
Commissioner Turner, now you need to do the minutes. Sorry.
I've never done this before, apparently.
I'm sure you have, right?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes back of November, was it 24th?
Second.
November the 20th, 2024, yes.
We have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now can I start? Beth, you probably intend to present this to us, so you might as well come on up and do that.
Beth Fields, Director of Strategic Initiatives. Can't even talk tonight. Director of Strategic Initiatives. Happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. What we are requesting is that the Plan Commission review the housing plan and the economic development area set aside for the Smith Hill Economic Development Area for a new subdivision. And we would like your concurrence that that does align with the goals of the city and the comprehensive plan. So as a little bit of background, as we look at this project, as many of you were seated up here when we went through the rezoning process, the developer, 11th Street Development, has gone through the rezoning process for the site. The developer last year in 2024 submitted an application to the East Central Regional Partnership for Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative, which is commonly referred to as READY 2.0. This was the second round that was offered by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. The Eastern Indiana Regional Partnership awarded tentative awards late last year, and the Smith Hill subdivision was tentatively awarded $4.33 million. As you recall, the READY initiative requires a 1-to-1 match. So whatever the Indiana Economic Development Corporation puts in, the local municipality needs to match that. So the city of Richmond needs to provide $4.33 million towards the completion of this project. In looking at how we as a city would be able to fund that, cash on hand is not an option for us. Fortunately, the Indiana Finance Authority has a residential housing infrastructure program that assists communities with funding infrastructure for housing projects. That application was due in December of last year. The city submitted an application. Awards were expected in March, with closing on those projects expected in June. In January, we received a call from the Indiana Finance Authority that their timeline had been accelerated. They made awards in January and were hopeful to close in March. The timeline that we have and that we have to follow for public hearings and notices doesn't allow us to close in March. We would be closing in April. Indiana Finance Authority is okay with that, but that is why we are moving this forward at this time. What we will do is, with establishing this residential housing TIF, the tax increment that is earned from the new development will go into a fund that would be overseen by the Redevelopment Commission, and it would be used to repay bonds from the Indiana Finance Authority that would fund infrastructure for this project. It would only be eligible for infrastructure. It cannot be used for anything else. So we started this project with the Redevelopment Commission, as President Turner indicated, held a meeting yesterday to approve Resolution 5, which is an amending declaratory resolution stating their intent to create an economic development area on this parcel of ground and to initiate a housing program that would be utilized in this area. The next step is today for the Plan Commission to approve Order Number 1, 2025, which does state that the new housing and the housing program do align with the plans for the community and Richmond Rising, the comprehensive plan. In your packet, I believe you have the entire Resolution 5, but I would draw your attention to Exhibit B. This is the housing program itself. So when you look at this, it talks about the purpose of the program will be to benefit public health and welfare of the citizens of the city by providing additional housing options, by construction of new single-family homes to attract new residents to the community, and retain existing residents that are looking for new housing options in their community. It will increase the property tax base, and it will encourage enrollment and retention of students at our local schools by providing a variety of quality housing options for families. As you then look to page B2, you will see a list of those eligible activities that this funding could be used for. We did set out a note in here that under acquisition of property, the commission has no intent to acquire any parcels or any real property through this project. And it indicates that we do not intend and will not be using eminent domain to implement this program. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. And I think it's important to note that while this project or this process that we're going through right now establishes the economic development area, there is another process that will be through the Redevelopment Commission, the Economic Development Commission, and Richmond Common Council to approve the Indiana Finance Authority bonds that would be used and purchased and then repaid with this fund. This also does not in any way change the trajectory of the developer and their requirements to complete their planned development with this body, with moving on to steps 2 and steps 3. That will all still go through this body as well. This does not have an impact on that.
Questions for Beth?
One question, Beth.
Sure.
You talked about matching 4.333, and I noticed in Section 9 of the resolution, it says 5.5 million.
Correct. That difference, the 5.5 million, based on the build that the developer has planned, we project that the TIF could potentially create that $5.5 million. So we put that max in here. We did apply for that amount with the Indiana Finance Authority. They had many more applications than they were able to fund, so they reduced our request to the $4.33 million. We are on the wait list, so if any of the other projects that have received tentative awards do not follow through at closing, that we would be eligible to receive additional funding up to that 5.5. There were, during the first round, there were 2 deals that did not close, and that funding was reallocated to other communities that received tentative awards.
And the 5.5 actually is pretty close to what the estimated infrastructure costs are likely to be.
Yes, for Phase 1. This is for the infrastructure for Phase 1. There will be some pieces that they will do that it will make sense to do the entire subdivision, but the majority of this will be just for Phase 1.
Right. Other questions?
There was some change in the order of what the developer was going to build, I think. Wasn't there? The original idea was that the apartment buildings would come first.
Correct.
And now they aren't. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Sure. The developer is no longer placing apartments within the subdivision. That location where the apartments were going to be located are now going to be single-family townhomes that will be purchased by individuals. So there will be 99, at this point, they're projecting 99 townhomes in that area.
And that also takes out the child care
Correct.
facility.
Correct. This will all, everything that will be built will be residential for purchase.
Thank you.
I think it's important to point out that we've had several studies that have been done on the need for housing and mixed-use type of housing within the community. This is a project that's been long in the works. I can remember 9 years ago when I started working on that particular 80 acres out there to move that into a housing project. And unfortunately, these projects do move slowly. It takes time to find a developer. I think we're very, very fortunate that we've been able to get a developer that's interested in this area. And this will certainly provide a need to folks in the community, along with the new apartment complex that we're getting, all for part of the regrowth of the Richmond area. I certainly support this project very much. Happy to move it forward.
Actually, we were shown yesterday, and I have it open in front of me, a spreadsheet that starts in 2028 and ends in 2034, and it ticks off what he thinks he's going to do in each of those years, investment-wise. He's going to pop a little over $5 million into it in 2028, and it looks like that's going to be sunrise homes, maintenance-free homes, and townhouses. So he won't be doing any of the large lot stuff initially.
And this is when they expect them to be assessed. That's their first year of assessment.
Yeah. Oh, so they're built in 27. Ah, okay.
Even better.
Well, what's the pleasure of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, I move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our resolution. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Should we do a
Roll call.
roll call? Let's do a roll call, please.
Len Clark,
Aye.
Michael Devine,
Aye.
Joe Price,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Dakota Collins,
Aye.
Ken Paust.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. To my knowledge, we have no further business, so a motion to adjourn would be appropriate.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned.
You are watching Whitewater Government Television, WGTV, Channel 11, part of the Whitewater Community